Dik dur dik. Tamam dik dur konuşacağız. Dik dur. Bunu su getir. Çok...
They called her a monster, a 95-pound Doberman with a dangerous habit that sent chills down everyone's spine. Lucy didn't growl, she didn't snap, but she did something far more terrifying to those who didn't understand her. She took their hands between her razor-sharp teeth. One scream changed everything. And by 3 a.m., Lucy found herself behind cold metal bars, abandoned by the only family she ever loved. Was she a killer? Or was she just desperately trying to say something the world refused to hear? Lucy was a masterpiece of muscle and jet black fur, a 95-pound powerhouse whose very presence commanded the room. In her first home, she was loved, but she was also dangerously spoiled. To Lucy, the world was one giant playground, and every human was a potential playmate, Susan's hand between her massive jaws. To her, it was a tender invitation, a soft, "Please play with me." But to the outside world, it looked like a predator preparing for a kill. The tension reached a breaking point during a quiet dinner when a guest arrived. Lucy, bursting with excitement, approached the man and softly took his hand in her mouth. The man didn't see a playful dog, he saw a beast. He let out a blood-curdling scream that shattered the silence, followed by a torrent of insults and accusations of aggression. Her owners, paralyzed by the fear of a potential lawsuit and the stigma surrounding Dobermans, made a heartbreaking decision. Before the sun had even touched the horizon the next morning, they dragged Lucy to the high-kill shelter. They told the workers she was unpredictable, a liability they could no longer carry. As the heavy steel door slammed shut, Lucy was left in a concrete cell that felt like an icebox. She didn't understand why the warmth of her bed was replaced by the stench of bleach and despair. If you're watching this and haven't subscribed yet, I have to say I'm a little heartbroken. Stories like this need your support. Hit that subscribe button right now. You won't regret it. Now back to what happened next. For days, Lucy sat like a statue of sorrow, her cropped ears twitching at every footstep, hoping for a familiar face that never came. Her ribs began to show through her thin skin, each bone a testament to her fading hope. She was labeled difficult to place, a death sentence in a crowded shelter. But then, the universe decided to intervene. The Bennett family walked through the doors. While others saw a frightening Doberman, Mrs. Bennett saw a broken soul with hollow eyes. She noticed Lucy's ears, scarred and clipped, and whispered, "Oh my God, what did they do to your ears?" The shelter worker explained the situation, expecting the family to run. Instead, something incredible happened. They didn't see a threat, they saw a comedian. The idea of a giant dog holding hands to play seemed hilariously sweet to them. They signed the papers immediately, determined to give this misunderstood monster the sanctuary she deserved. The first few days at the Bennett house were draped in an uneasy silence. Lucy was a shadow, moving through the hallways like a ghost, her tail tucked so tight it practically disappeared. David and Sarah Bennett waited with bated breath, wondering when she would finally show them her infamous habit. They left their hands dangling, almost inviting her to take them, but Lucy remained distant. She was a shattered mirror of her former self, too afraid to reach out, too traumatized by the rejection of her past. Sarah began to worry that the spark in Lucy's soul had been extinguished forever. Had the shelter broken her, or did she simply not trust them enough to play? The house felt empty despite the 95-pound guardian occupying the corner of the living room. Sarah realized there was a missing piece to this puzzle. Lucy didn't have anything to play with. The previous owners had surrendered her without a single toy. Sarah rushed to the store and bought a small, bright red ball, the kind that squeaks with the promise of joy. When she returned, she didn't force the interaction. She sat on the floor, bouncing the ball rhythmically against the hardwood. Thump, thump, thump. She turned her back to Lucy, feigning indifference while watching her through a small mirror on the wall. Lucy's ears perked up. The ancient instinct of a Doberman began to stir. She rose from her bed, her massive frame unfolding like a dark cloud. She approached Sarah with agonizing slowness, her heart hammering against her ribs like a trapped bird. Then it happened. What happened next left everyone speechless. Lucy leaned in, her warm breath hitting Sarah's skin, and with the precision of a jeweler, she draped her teeth over Sarah's hand. It wasn't a bite, it was a whisper. It was the softest, most delicate touch imaginable. Sarah felt the wetness of Lucy's nose and the incredible restraint in those powerful jaws. The monster had finally spoken, and she was saying, "I'm ready to trust you." The silence of the house was replaced by a surge of pure, unfiltered emotion that changed the atmosphere of the home forever. The moment Sarah felt those teeth, she didn't scream. She let out a cry of pure triumph. "She did it!" she shouted, pulling the massive dog into a hug. But Lucy was confused. To her, this was a business transaction. I hold the hand, you throw the ball. As Sarah squeezed her, Lucy kept trying to reposition her mouth around Sarah's arm, her tail thrumming against the floor like a helicopter blade. Sarah laughed through her tears, realizing that while she wanted a sentimental movie moment, Lucy just wanted to fetch. "Okay, I get it. Your turn," Sarah yelled, hurling the red ball down the hallway. Lucy launched like a missile, her muscles rippling under her jet black coat. She brought the ball back, insisting on holding Sarah's hand again before releasing her prize. It was their secret handshake, a ritual of love that no one else understood. Today, Lucy is a different dog. She rarely does the hand-holding anymore because Sarah dedicates every waking hour to her. Lucy is so bombarded with attention that she's become the most well-behaved Doberman in the neighborhood. Honestly, Sarah might be doing her job too well. Sometimes when Sarah approaches with another toy, Lucy gives her a look that says, "Human, please, I am an apex predator. I need a nap. Go get a hobby." Even the most spoiled Doberman has her limits. Lucy went from a cold shelter to a queen's throne, proving there are no bad dogs, only unheard voices. If this story touched your heart and you're still not subscribed, please don't wait any longer. Hit that subscribe button. What would you do if a 95-pound dog took your hand in its mouth? Tell me in the comments below. If this story moved you, please hit that like button. It helps more people find these incredible stories.